Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a weekend check-in for the Twin Flame Collective. And so we've got some big energies coming in this weekend. On Saturday, we have the Sun in Scorpio conjunct Mars in Scorpio. And so what does this mean? It means we are entering into a new 2-year Mars cycle. And so we are hitting the karmic reset button this weekend. There's going to be a lot of initiations, I feel, for the divine masculines surrounding their identity, how they choose to take action. And it's like this cosmic reset button being pressed in the energies. And so this is a cosmic clarion call coming through this weekend for the counterparts. And I feel many of the masculine collective are reassessing their goals. They're redefining what it is that they desire, and they are realigning their actions so they can become more of their authentic selves. And so Mars is impulsive, right? Our Mars energy within our birth chart is how we choose to take action. And so we think about Mars energy. It's like the first planet in our natal chart that challenges all of the dimensions of our personality, right? And so we think of the sun, which is our ego identity, and the sun kind of has a mind of its own, a will of its own, whereas our Mars energy in our birth chart, that's our free will. We can change our destiny at any point in time, but we have to choose the path of evolutionary development. And so we usually go through our first Mars return, so to speak, at the age of 2. And you think of being a 2-year-old, and when you're about 2 years old, I know my youngest is going to be 7 in a few more weeks, but you know, she learned the word no around the age of 2, right? And this is where we discover, hey, we have free will, and I can say no if I want to. And so no is a very important part of our psychological development and our journey, right? They call it November for a reason, because we need to learn how to say no to things that just aren't working for us. And so we are learning boundaries, I feel, in the energies. And when we have healthy boundaries, we can alter all of our circumstances for the better. If we don't have a properly developed Mars aspect within our natal chart, then it kind of feels like we don't have any say in our lives. And that's when things kind of happen to us. And we get trapped in a perpetual state of childhood wounding. And a lot of people are in that perpetual state of acting out of a hurt inner child. And this is due to survival fears. And so this weekend, I feel, with the archetype of Mars being in the energy of the warrior, Mars is considered the war energy, like the god of war. But we don't go to war for nothing, right? We fight for things for the sake of protection, not for the sake of destruction. And so when we have a healthy sense of identity within our Mars energy or our inner masculine energy, our actions have to follow our purpose, right? Our actions need to have purpose when it comes to growth and evolution. And so if we don't know who we are within our Mars energy, how the heck can we know what our purpose is, right? And so that's when our actions are not aligned. And that's when we become scattered, we become aggressive, and we want war, right? And so when we are in an unhealthy state of inner masculine energy, and we both have inner masculine and feminine energy, if we are in an unhealthy state of unintegrated Mars energy, we're going to feel stuck. We're going to lack inspiration. We're going to be lethargic. We're going to be tired. And all of this is linked to an unhealthy expression of our internal Mars archetype. And so I feel right now there's a lot of anger and aggression being triggered to the surface due to states of depression, which ultimately would be a deep-seated, rooted issue when it comes to this lack of expression of our inner Mars energy. And so I do feel this transit is going to be affecting the fixed signs the most. And so if you have your Mars energy in Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, this energy might become very scattered and aggressive this weekend, especially if your actions are not aligned with your true ego identity with the sun energy. And so if we haven't ignited that inner flame, that inner fire, we're going to feel stuck. We're going to feel stagnant, and we're going to have this burden of emotional heaviness on the heart. And so I do feel right now in society, by society standards, if we choose ourselves and we pursue our desires, a lot of people will call us selfish, right? Because we're choosing ourselves. But it's not selfish to choose yourself. It's only selfish if you are in an unhealthy Mars energy, which will display selfishness, anger, aggression. It will also display a lot of misaligned energy in your life, because Mars in its purest expression and intention, we know what it is we need to do. We know what it is we need to take action towards, because a healthy Mars integration is going to say, hey, you're super connected to your intuition. And when your intuition is the action taker, then everything is going to be in your best interest, because you're operating out of your authentic self. And so if you've been feeling less engaged or less motivated, why are you not going after what it is that you truly want? Because that's what Mars wants you to do, to utilize your free will to go after what it is that you want, to get things done. And so I feel a lot of the masculines, they've been lacking energy, they've been lacking motivation, they've definitely been procrastinating or even busying themselves with non-productive things that really aren't moving them forward towards these unions or their goals. And so this is a reset opportunity to change those unhealthy Mars patterns, no matter what your Mars placement is. I feel we have this unique astrological opportunity to press the reset button this weekend, but we do have to rewire our impulses. We have to realign our actions with our truth. If your truth and your words aren't matching your actions, then you're likely feeling shackled and chained to some type of energy that is toxic, that's really been holding you back, creating all of these cycles of inertia. And so, let's face it, change can be very hard. You know how hard it is for you to change your own personal thought patterns, especially if this is always the way we've done it, and doing things differently can be scary and feel unhealthy, right? And so change doesn't really have to be hard, although both of these energies are in fixed signs. It doesn't have to be hard. It really doesn't have to be hard. If you know what your true desires and wants are with your healthy Venus energy, then you're going to have the courage to take action towards what it is that you truly want. And so I feel it's like a crapshoot this weekend. We don't know what's really gonna happen, right? And I feel that's where the masculines are at. They don't know what will actually happen if they take action towards the feminine. They might get rejected. They might fail. Maybe they'll get criticized, right? But the outcome is never, ever the point. The outcome is obsolete. We have to take action, and we have to choose to stand in our truth, or this heaviness will never be lifted as that burden. And so I think the masculines are asking themselves what the heck they value at this point in time, what truly makes them happy. I feel they're being pushed into an organic energy of stepping into aligning their actions with their truth, but they have to choose to step towards the life that they truly want. And so I do feel, with Mars energy, it rules two signs, Aries and Scorpio. So if you have prominent Aries in your chart, you might be feeling the energy to take spontaneous action. But I feel it's the energy of, if you truly want something, you're going to go after it and get it, right? People that want something, they don't sit in the sidelines, right? And so I feel there's like this spark of initiation going on to kind of get things moving, to get the masculine out of these states of inertia and stuckness, because he doesn't really have the stamina to sustain taking action. But I feel it's this relentless determination, right? Because Scorpio is a fixed water sign. Its waters can get very deep and dark, right? Because it is the darkest water sign. And so we have to master our strength, our resilience, our determination. And our inner Mars is saying we've got to be ready to face any challenges and utilize our free will. And so a lot of us have built-in stamina and resilience. We can get anything we absolutely want. We absolutely can. But we got to want it bad enough, and we really got to want it, right? And so if you want something, you definitely go after it and get it. And so right now I feel a lot of the masculines are facing their inner dragon. Face the dragon, get the gold. They're slaying their inner dragon at this point in time because of the deep hidden layers of the scorpionic Mars energy. There's a lot of karmic ramifications as well playing out this weekend. And so not everything is straight shooting, straightforward, right? And so there's a lot of deep bonds that form in the Scorpio energy, right? And so Scorpio has this archetype representation of forming deep, deep karmic soul ties with people. And a lot of these soul type bonds or ties, they're necessary for a certain type of survival on the journey. 1122, again, that sync is like huge lately. But we have to go onwards beyond these survival bonds, right? And a lot of people in the collective in these karmic cycles, they are bonded in the lower energies of greed, materialism, power struggle, lust. And so deep scorpionic bonds, and I'm a pro at deep scorpionic bonds. I'm bonded to two scorpionic men that are my daughter's fathers. And my own father is also a Scorpio. And so a lot of these scorpionic themes are passed down to us from our parents and our grandparents and our family lineage. And then we continue to pass down these karmic soul bonds to our children. But we have to rewrite karma. We have to rewrite destiny. That's what the twins came here to do. 1221 now, mirroring energies. And so we have to release what no longer serves our human evolution journey. And we don't have to always do things the way that they've been done. We don't have to do things the way our parents did it or our grandparents did it. And so we're here to create a new legacy for our family and the future. And so there's going to be some type of catalytic event, I feel, playing out this weekend for this alchemical transformation and process for many of the divine masculine. And so they're metaphorically slaying their inner beast, their inner dragon. And so if we think about the dragon energy, represents the subconscious mind, right? We've got to go into the labyrinth of the subconscious mind, and we have to face all of these hidden, repressed aspects of self. We can't go into this individualization process if we don't confront our inner dragons. And this is part of the spiritual journey, right? And so the dragon can also represent our courage to do what we feel is impossible. And this is going to be a very difficult, daunting task for many of the masculines to address their grip of the fear that they've been holding on to, which is just recreating all of these cycles of oppression. And so I feel many of the masculines are slaying their inner dragon. And the bottom line is we always have a choice. We always have a choice. And so right now I feel there's a cutting of the cords when it comes to these karmic soul ties. And so it's different, right? Like if you think of the Aries energy cutting the cord with the Pisces energy, that would be the metaphorical energy of the baby leaving the womb, right? And that is our individual right to have that umbilical cord cut when we are birthed. But we are cutting the karmic umbilical cords at this part in time on the journey. And so we have to face our karmic baggage from the past if we're going to slay the dragon. And so the past is the south node. And the future is the North Node. And this is where we separate the past with the future, right? And so many of the masculines are becoming untangled from all of these karmic threads from the past life, which are connected to the Scorpio South Node, which is now allowing the masculine to have a choice to choose to consciously shape their destiny. There's fate, and then there's destiny. And so there's a lot of things that happen to us fatedly, unexpectedly, that we have no control over. But when we face our inner wounds and our inner dragon, and we are aware of this separateness within the psyche and the human conditioning, then we understand, hey, I do have free will. I don't have to stay stuck in this very karmic baggage that they've been sitting in. And so I feel the energies are helping the masculine untangle from the karmic webbing this weekend, because a lot of these patterns we go into unconsciously. And when we become consciously aware, then we're no longer operating through our unconscious karmic baggage, right? Which influences all of us throughout our lives. And we will keep recreating the same relationship cycles over and over and over again until it's brought into our conscious awareness. And so I feel there's deep-seated fears that the masculines are reflecting upon when it comes to making a choice to stepping into their most authentic selves. But this will require them slaying the dragon and reclaiming their personal power. And so I feel a lot of the masculines in the collective are addressing what they need to address when it comes to past family conditioning and programming. And they are seeing what they need to do to slay this dragon at this time to pave the way for their personal transformation. So let's pull in with some cards. I did grab my Dragon Oracle deck since we're slaying the dragon. And I will pull in with some spiritual journey oracle messages as well, and tarot, and then we will do a closing message with the soul's journey. So let's jump in and let's see what other energies need to come in. Fire and water dragon. Fire and water create steam. And then we get dark blue galactic dragon. And so really listen to the inner voice. Listen to the inner stirrings of the universe this weekend, because we are going through an initiation of all of these higher codes. I feel a lot of the masculines are activating their master soul blueprint and accessing a lot of cosmic wisdom, and they are being asked to enter into a higher state of service for the collective. So I feel prepare for rapid changes and to move forward very quickly. Expect the unexpected this weekend. Expect the unexpected. So let's see what else needs to come through for the twins. Right out the gate, we get rainbow dragon, gold and silver violet flame dragon. So that's the burning up of the karma with the violet flame. And so we're transmuting all of this karmic baggage around us. And what are we tapping into? Wisdom. Wisdom when it comes to learning the lesson. And so it's time for a lot of transmutation this weekend, a lot of magic, a lot of healing. And I do feel expect miracles. The feminine is being asked to just leap forward into states of joy, because that's going to open up a lot of new doorways, I feel, this weekend. Accept offer of communication from the masculine and expect miracles. The feminine is really needing to trust that the masculine is going through this transformation, transmutation process. And then we get on the bottom of the deck, the white gold dragon from Lyra. And so this is connecting the masculine with his Christed light body at this time. And we are developing into the 9th dimensional Christ light, I feel, 9D and above. And so there's a lot being illuminated with the potential in the energies this weekend to access all of this untapped wisdom, but it does require going within the soul and slaying the dragon to open up to this higher learning and these higher experiences. And so there's a lot of expansion, I feel, through the crown chakra taking place for the masculines, which is creating illumination for them to walk the spiritual path. Let's see what needs to come through with the spiritual journey oracle deck. Teacher. Yeah, and this is what the masculine is also here to do, is to be a teacher. alongside the divine feminine. And so I feel that situationship that they've been involved in has really helped them evolve, has helped them learn some negative lessons that the feminine can't teach the masculine. And I do feel he's recognizing the gift of this very painful lesson for his human expansion. And so I do feel a lot of connection to the higher energies, the guides, the archangels, and the masculine is kind of being guided towards this Christed light activation at this time. What other messages need to come through? The seeker energy, that came through in the divine feminine message. And so I do feel a strong curiosity for deeper meaning is coming up for many of the masculines. And they are letting things go. They're releasing control. 2020 vision is always in hindsight, right? But I feel finally the masculine is being willing to allow the universe to do its job. And they are opening up, I feel, by releasing some mental clutter. And I do feel this deep-seated knowing of they are here to impart this ancestral wisdom. So I think they are listening to their guides when it comes to that karmic situation. And I do feel we are journeying towards fulfillment. We are manifesting a major fork in the road this weekend. And I feel the masculine is finally realizing that he does have the potential to create anything he wants in his physical reality. And I do feel he's taking charge of his destiny, although he was influenced negatively by the people around him. Feel we're at that pivot point. We are at that pivot point where the masculine is going to have to make a substantial decision. But he's seeking that truth. He's finding his truth. And I do feel he's recognizing where he was misguided by lies and falsehoods, where other people were kind of like making him their puppet. And I feel the light is shining down on what truly speaks to the masculine's heart and his soul. And so trusting the intuition, allowing your higher self to guide you towards what is best for you is a big theme in the energies this weekend. So let's jump in with some tarot. There's the High Priestess and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And so there's a deep knowing. I feel that the masculine has to release something where there's been a lack of loyalty and dedication. And I feel there's been apprehension about this release. But I feel finally the masculine is releasing all of that poor counsel that he received, and he's turning inward. A lot of the masculines are being asked to meditate and turn inward this weekend to discover their true soul's desires. And so it is a time for action, and taking action on the wisdom that is received is what I'm feeling. So we're going to see what else needs to come through for the weekend check-in. I think I'm going to do a 9-card spread, and we're going to see what message needs to come through for the twins. We get the 6 of Wands reversed, the 5 of Wands reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, the 8 of Cups reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, the Page of Coins reversed, the Page of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Cups. There's an apology coming. I do feel an open-hearted offer is coming. We get the Chariot reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the 5 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we get the Moon. I feel a cycle is reaching completion. I feel this cycle started to completely close during that Scorpio new moon. And we will have a full moon in Gemini on November the 27th. That is the moon of the lovers. And so I feel the Gemini full moon is when these new seeds will be planted. Because right now the masculine is getting a major wake-up call, going through an awakening. A lot of these masculines play the martyr, play the victim. They stay in that state of inertia because they don't feel like they have free will to do anything. But I feel the masculines are gaining a lot of insights in order for them to see the divine feminine in a new light. And so the way I see this is a release of a dramatic situation. There could be some challenging information coming out this weekend that is really going to shift the divine masculine's perspective. I do feel they might be receiving a lot of challenging insights as well. But I feel this is unwelcome news, unwelcome message. And this is where the masculine's been at, in a very unhealthy situation where there's been a lack of victory, a lack of admitting that they made an unwise choice, maybe due to public humiliation. But I feel a lot of the conflicts surrounding the masculine right now are caused by others, and a lot of the falsehoods and opposing opinions that get into the masculine's mind space. And so I do feel they realize they got to speak up and release a dramatic situation and stand up for themselves, whatever's really wasting their time. And they do know they have to go back to something from the past that they did not choose to invest in, and that might require an open-hearted apology, right? And so I feel there's something coming to a dead stop this weekend when it comes to the karmic relationship cycles. And I feel the masculine's really focusing on the negative right now. He's really sitting in a state of shame, regret, and guilt. I don't think anything's really working out for the masculine in his life right now, and he's got to learn to forgive himself, right? Everything is by divine design. Everything happens for a reason. We might not understand why until the lesson is complete, but I feel the masculine could be going through an emotional breakdown. I do feel they are recognizing that they're dealing with somebody maybe that's only with them because of the money. There's a very ungrounded energy coming through here. We could have somebody that's very materialistic, maybe a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that the masculine is dealing with. Doesn't have to be. I do see Cancer energy here. We have all of the fixed signs with the moon, which is ruled by Cancer and Pisces. And so I do feel this is a time of spiritual enlightenment. This is a lesson coming full circle, reaching completion, and I feel there is going to be a major wake-up call. A lot of the masculines, they were in a state of illusion due to fear, but I feel there's going to be a major revelation coming forward this weekend that is going to get them out of stagnancy. It's going to bring a moment of clarity or self-actualization so they can come forward and put in the effort and invest in these unions, plant that seed well. So I feel there might be a resting period until the full moon in Gemini before the masculine takes action towards the feminine. But let's clarify this Page of Cups, because this is a message regarding these unions and the masculine, I feel, wanting a new emotional experience. There could be a fated encounter with your masculine. Yeah, there's an apology coming, I think, for the missed opportunity. A lot of the masculines are feeling foolish because they didn't push their fears aside and take that leap of faith when it comes to this new cycle. So it's like the time's up. It's kind of like they're being forced off the ledge, and there's that wounded healer. There's the hero's journey, right? The masculine being his own hero. And then we get the 9 of Swords with the 9 of Pentacles, 999. A cycle is coming to a close, and the masculine is facing all of his unfounded fear when it comes to coming towards the feminine. They are deeply wounded. I think they are needing to protect themselves. I think they've got a lot of people coming at them at this point in time. And they need to be prepared to not give up. And so I feel a lot of the masculines don't know the result if they take a leap of faith towards the feminine, right? They don't have a clue what the final outcome can be, but they do see where they need to go. They do see that they need to bring forward an open-hearted offer towards the divine feminine and to face their fears. Otherwise, they will keep recreating these self-fulfilling prophecies of these karmic cycles of conflict with others due to the fact that they've not faced their inner conflict and faced their inner dragon. And so I feel the masculine does see the feminine really enjoying life. A lot of these masculines stay in a state of silence, watching, spying, and not communicating. Watching the feminine do the hard work of transforming her life, maybe building a business. You know, a lot of the feminines, we have to learn to enjoy the solitude. But I feel the masculine wants to come in. They do want to bring something back from the dead. So you might have thought that this was dead and gone. We've got the Death card in reversed with the Magician, Virgo, Gemini, Scorpio energy, and the releasing of the burden. So I feel the masculines are finally going deep into the heart. They've repressed these feelings. They've denied these feelings on their heart. There's been a lack of understanding between the counterparts. And this is just saying, if you believe it, you can do it. They have to learn to believe in themselves. So you could be dealing with a masculine with a Mars, or a Mars in Gemini or Virgo. It doesn't have to be, or a Mars in Scorpio. But I feel there's been so much resistance to ending the karmic cycles for that new beginning. And there is a release of a situation that has been, clung onto. And I do feel that's really held the masculine back on this transformation journey. But I feel finally releasing the burden, the heaviness on the heart. And so I do feel the masculines are going to have to go into the great sadness that they have not acknowledged throughout the separation journey. And so in order to heal the past, we have to look at it first. We have to acknowledge it. And there's a lot of growth that comes from feeling all of these emotions. And so I do feel the masculine does want to heal this connection. I feel a lot of them are feeling guilty for not being there for you in your time of need. And they want to come in and release a long-standing burden. And I feel they will be coming in very quickly. But right now they're going through a massive heart purge. This is the energy of they believe that they can bring this back from the dead as well. So let's clarify the Eight of Cups in reverse. So a lot of energies of coming back around. Yeah, they need to come back and pay off some karmic debt here. So all the good that you've put out there, Divine Feminine, it's about to come back to you. Expect the unexpected. Maybe you're coming into an unexpected influx of abundance and inheritance, a windfall perhaps. But the masculine is going to have to pay off his karmic debt with you. Yeah, there's a lot of childhood wounds coming up for the masculine. I feel they're revisiting this old relationship with you. They're revisiting their inner child. And I do feel there's going to be the return of the masculine from the past with quite possibly a confession. And this is what's been the delay. I think a lot of the masculines are losing their mind. They're losing their peace of mind because they were not honest with themselves. I think all of the secrets are coming to light, and maybe they've experienced a huge material loss. But I feel they're receiving some bad karma at this point in time with the Judgment reversed, because they've not wanted to revisit this. They've stuffed it down. And now like a karmic reckoning of their purpose is coming forward. Yeah, they've been living in a state of denial. And so a lot of them received some poor advice. And they've been in a very unemotional, emotionally unavailable relationship. And they've been staying very quiet as they go through this disillusionment process. And so a lot of the masculines on the journey take a vow of silence. And this is where we harness the telepathy between the counterparts. And a lot of the feminines, they take a vow of celibacy as we go through this disillusionment process. And so the masculine knows he can no longer procrastinate. It's time to make a choice. And I do feel addictions of any kind have kind of skewed their perception. But I feel the clarity is coming as to what it is they need to move towards. And I do feel they know they need to come towards the feminine, the high priestess. And they have to come in with the whole truth and nothing but the truth if they want to heal these negative manifestations in their life. A lot of the masculines, they take a gamble. They make an unwise choice. They go in the wrong direction. And they stay in that toxicity because they lack integrity, because they don't want to admit that they made a mistake. It's not easy to tell somebody you're sorry. It's not easy to tell somebody that you made a mistake. But I do feel a lot of the masculines maybe have been struggling financially, and they might have lost it all, and they could have fears surrounding money. But I think the feminine already knows this, right? But I do feel this awakening is sparking anger and action so they can integrate their unhealthy Mars energy and find that inspirational motivation to take action towards this leadership role that they have been assigned this lifetime. And so I do feel they're watching you. They've got their eyes on you, Divine Feminine. They can see the bigger picture. And this activation is triggering communication. There is communication coming. There is a love offer coming. I do feel the masculine wants to come in, and he wants to sweep you off your feet. He wants to fall in love again. He does. He wants to fall in love again, and he wants to build financial security with you. So I feel the walls are dropping. The defenses are breaking down, and we are stepping towards unity. The twins are headed towards unity, working together within a spiritually minded community. And I feel trust is going to be needed, because we're here to build non-conformity traditions, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to do what's best for us. So let's get a closing message with the Soul's Journey Oracle deck, Judgment and Guilt. So the masculine is under karmic judgment, divine judgment, and he needs to understand we all have our unique path, and we all have our unique challenges to face this lifetime. So I feel a huge release of guilt and shame, and any beliefs that are no longer assisting him on the growth journey. So we'll see what else needs to come through. I love it. When you are aligned with your service mission, that is when the abundance flows. And so I feel the masculine is getting ready to step into service and helping others alongside you, divine feminine. And when we do this, the universe is limitless. We are limitless beings. We can manifest whatever it is that we desire in our reality, but we have to face the judgment of our ego and our pride, and we have to learn to love ourselves from a place of forgiveness. And so I feel the masculine is forgiving himself, releasing guilt, releasing his egoic pride, and finding the courage to possess a high regard for his self-esteem. And he is surrendering, right? Surrender the doubt, surrender the fear, and face any challenges head on this weekend. And that's what I got for the weekend check-in for the twins. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, please feel free to check out the description box below, guys. And I absolutely look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.